والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. ربي يسر لي ولا تعسر ربي تمم بالخير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, tonight I will talk about manners of eating. This is a very important aspect of our manners because we eat every day. Not only that, we eat many times a day. Yeah? So we have to have the right manners so that every time we eat, we do the right thing. It must also be done, we must know how to do it properly when we are eating alone, with the family, or with friends, or with guests and so on, right? So to avoid pretenses, you should train yourself in proper eating manners, whether alone or with your family. Then it becomes a natural part of your behavior. Right? When it becomes natural part of your behavior, it will be very easy for you. You're at ease at the table, at the dining table. Right? Now, when I look at the notes in the book that was given to me, it's very sketchy, so I do some reading from other sources, mainly from two other sources. One is the collection of hadith from Riyadus Salihin by Imam Nawawi in English. Unfortunately, I have Sahih Muslim in Malay, right? In Malay, but I will translate inshallah into English. So I will start with the hadith that are recorded by Imam Muslim, and then I will go into the hadith of Imam An-Nawawi instead of going through the contents of the book, right? Because the contents of the book is very sketchy. It doesn't contain much hadith and so on, you know. So I think it's better that we go through the hadith because that will create more motivation for us, inshallah. Okay. So if you look at Imam Muslim, Sahih Muslim, it is in book 4, the last book, Adab on eating and drinking. Adab on eating and drinking. Okay. So the first hadith, I will just go through the hadith from Muslim because it is quite interesting. Yeah? The first hadith is from Huzaifah radhiyallahu anhu. An Huzaifah قال كنا إذا حضرنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم طعاما لم نضع أيدينا حتى يبدأ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فيضع يده وإنا حضرنا معه مرة طعاما فجاءت جارية كأنها تدفع فذهبت لتضع يدها في الطعام فأخذ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إلى آخر. Panjang sangat. Very interesting. According to Huzaifah radhiyallahu anhu, he says, we were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and before we extend our hand to take the food that has been served on the table or on the floor actually, we will not do that until the Prophet ﷺ start. So in other words, the first teaching is we do not start until the right people, the most honored among the group, start first. It could be the elders, right? In this case, of course, the Prophet. But otherwise, it is the elders, or it is your parents first, and so on and so forth, right? You cannot start first. Yeah? One day, is it, we were with some companions, and all of a sudden, a small girl came. A small girl appeared in the group, right? We were about to eat. Suddenly, a small girl appeared in the group and wanted to take some food, right? The Prophet ﷺ caught hold of her hand and said, "Shaitan. This is shaitan," she said. And then a Bedouin came Actually, the father came. The father of the girl came, right? A Badu came, and he also did the same thing. He wanted to take the food. And again, the Prophet caught hold of his hand and said, Shaitan. Right? Then, after that, the Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it is because they did not say Basmalah. They did not start by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and therefore I could see the shaitan in their hands. I could see the shaitan in their hands trying to grab the food. That is why I caught hold of their hands. So it's very interesting. In other words, if you do not say Basmallah, in other words, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, when you are about to eat, right? Of course, we normally say Allahumma barik lana fima razaqtana wa qina adhaban nar, which is better, of course. But at least you must say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, otherwise the shaitan is there. Why? Because the shaitan is everywhere. The shaitan is everywhere trying to do mischief to us all the time. Right? So in another hadith, for example, from Abi Sa'id Al-Khudri, he says, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, oh, no, not this one. Oh, I missed something. All right. And also another hadith from Jabir bin Abdullah. He says he heard that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when somebody says Bismillah or Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Basmalah, in other words, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, when he is about to enter the house, right? When he is about to enter the house and he says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and also when he is about to eat, right? Then the shaitan will say, tonight we don't have any place to sleep, neither any food to eat. Right? So if you enter the house, your house, and say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and when you want to eat, you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the shaitan gave up. He says, now, tonight, he will tell his friends, tonight we don't have any place to sleep, neither any food to eat. Right? And similarly, if somebody were to just say Bismillah when he goes into the house, without saying Bismillah when he eats the food, right? Then shaitan said, we don't have any place to sleep, but we have food to eat. And the other way around, you come into the house without saying Bismillah, and when you want to eat, you say Bismillah. Of course, when you eat, the food is protected, but the house is not protected. So what if you don't say Bismillah when you go in, when you don't say Bismillah when you want to eat, then the shaitan is everywhere. He said, tonight is a big night, big party for us. We have a place to sleep, we have enough food to eat. And according to some sources that I have heard, the shaitan, or Iblis for that matter, will always go for the hot food. When the food is hot, that is the best food to eat, really. Right? You don't find good food or nice food when the food is cold. When the food is hot and you can see the smoke coming out, that's the time when it is very nice to eat. Right? Whether it is fried fish or meat, whatever, if it is hot, it's the best time to eat. Right? And you know what happened? The shaitan will not eat the physical food, but he eats the smoke, right? The thing that comes out of the fire, because they are made of fire. The thing that comes out of the fire, that is the smoke, that's what they eat. And when you take a glass of hot water, and the water produces smoke at that time, and you go and you leave it on the table before drinking, you just leave it there, you don't say Bismillah, you say nothing. The Iblis or the shaitan will be on the glass. Not only he will eat the smoke, he will also urinate there. He will also urinate in the water, in your drink. Right? That is why You have to protect your food. Right? Don't leave any food exposed. Never leave any food exposed. Because they are always there, because there is one source where they will be able to do all the mischief to you. The food is very, very important. What more when the food is haram? Finish. Right? Worse still. Yeah? If it is halal also, we have to protect. What more when it is haram? Haram, finish. Alas. Alright. Now the next hadith from Muslim, from Ibn Umar radiallahu anh, he says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when you eat and drink, right, eat and drink with your right hand, because it is only the shaitan who eat with the left hand. This is hadith, right? In other words, when you eat, eat with your right hand, because it is the shaitan who will eat with the left hand. So don't be like a shaitan. Another hadith, interesting hadith, from Iyas bin Salamah bin Aqwa radiallahu anhu. He says, his father told him, right, a man ate near the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his left hand. A man ate something near the Prophet with his left hand. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, eat with your right hand. And then he says what? No, I'm not. It's not possible for me to eat with my right hand. No? And the Prophet ﷺ said, nobody stops you from eating with your right hand except your own ego. Your own ego. Your takabbur, that's all. You're arrogant. Right? And let it be that your right hand cannot be used to eat with your let your right hand cannot be used to eat with. And true enough, immediately his right hand can never eat. He can never eat with his right hand, because his right hand cannot bring food to his mouth anymore. He cannot lift his hand anymore. And according to another hadith, another report from Imam Nawawi, this particular hadith is actually referring to a munafiqun, a munafiq, right? It was a munafiq who was actually with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was eating with the left hand out of arrogance, right? He told the Prophet, no, I'm not able to eat with the right hand. And the Prophet said, let it be that you cannot eat with your right hand. And immediately his right hand cannot be used to eat anymore for life. Yeah. The other one is from Umar bin Abu Salama. Umar bin Abu Salama used to live with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was a boy, right? He was a boy. He was like a khadam. So he was a boy. He was like a khadam, a servant. So he was living with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And whenever food is being served, he would go all over the place. He will go all over the place to find the best food. So the Prophet ﷺ told him, read Bismillah, number 1. Number 2, eat with your right hand. Number 3, take the food nearest to you. So 3 things. Number 1, say Bismillah. Number 2, eat with your right hand. Number 3, take the food nearest to you. Don't go and take their food the other side. So that is the teaching. So this particular Umar bin Abu Salama was one of those guys who had been doing that. So the Prophet told him that, right? Okay. The other thing is, the Prophet ﷺ used to say, do not drink from the pot or from the jug, right? Do not drink from the jug of water. Pour it into the glass and drink it from the glass. If the water is in the bottle, for example, do not put the mouth of the bottle at your mouth. Just put it further away. Then it is easier, or it is more convenient, more comfortable for other people to drink. So everybody can drink. Right? Okay? In fact, if you watch a football, right, most of those footballers, right, they don't drink by sucking the bottle. They drink like that. Right? I used to watch that, which is quite good. This is kafir. And do not drink, if possible, do not drink while you are standing. But still, there is a hadith here from Anas radiallahu anh. He says, he has seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited people from drinking while standing. Right? But according to Qatada, so we say, what about eating? You prohibit us from drinking while standing. What about eating? That is worse. Don't eat while standing. All right. From Ibn Abbas radhiallahu anh, he says, he says, from Ibn Abbas radhiallahu anh, he says he has poured some Zamzam water into a glass or into a container for the Prophet to drink while he was standing. Right? So it is a particular situation where he stood while drinking. Right? So this is a hadith, therefore it could be done actually. In fact, Sayyidina Umar used to do that because he said he has seen the Prophet ﷺ stand while drinking. But I think there must be certain situation. So here it is not clear. The other one is not to drink at one gulp, right? Always try to do it in 3 different gulps, 3 times, right? You don't just drink the whole glass, finish. That's also like shaitan. Right? At least 3 gulps. Okay. And from Anas radiallahu anh, he says he has seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to blow into the container 3 times. Used to blow into the container 3 times, right? That is better, according to him, is better. And Anas says because of that, because he has seen the Prophet done that, so he also does that. So you can blow, probably because it is too hot or whatever, I don't know. Yeah? The other one is when you pass the drink, right? You must always pass it to the right. Right? So once the Prophet ﷺ was offered a drink, right? So he drank some milk, right? He drank the milk, and then on his right happens to be a young man. On his left was Sayyidina Abu Bakr, right? So he asked the young man, would you allow me to pass this milk to Sayyidina Abu Bakr on the left? He said, I will never give this right of mine after you drink. So I want it. So the Prophet gave him and pass it down the right. So that's how it should be. If you pass the food, you pass it on the right, irrespective of whether the person on the right is junior to the person on the left. Okay? From Sahal ibn Sa'ad as-Sa'idi radhiyallahu anh, this is what I just said about the young man. So the young man did not want to give his right, did not offer his right, did not give up his right. He insists that he should have that right. Yeah? Of course, I don't think anybody would allow that. Yeah? After the Prophet has drunk, I don't think it is something that people will just offer to somebody else. That's a great privilege. Yeah? That's a great privilege. All right. if the food is being served, right, especially when we go to our majlis, right, normally we eat about 4 of us in one particular big plate, right. The Prophet ﷺ said, the barakah is always in the middle. The barakah is always in the middle. So do not eat from the middle, because if you eat from the middle, then you finish the barakah. So you eat from the side, right? So that the barakah is left all the time. Okay, the barakah is left all the time. So just eat from the side rather than from the middle, because the barakah is in the middle. Okay. Now the other one is regarding guest, right? From Abu Mas'ud Al-Ansari radhiyallahu anhu, he says, there is an Ansari whose name is Abu Shu'aib. He has a very good servant who is a butcher, right? One day Abu Shu'aib saw the Prophet ﷺ. He knew that the Prophet was quite hungry, right? So he told his servant, I pity the Prophet because he is very hungry. Why don't you prepare some food for 5 people? I want to invite the Prophet ﷺ with 4 other people. So after the food has been cooked, has been prepared, the Prophet ﷺ came, but he came with 5 other people, another one extra, right? So when he reached the door of Abu Shu'aib, he told Abu Shu'aib, I know that you have invited me and 4 others, but this man wanted to follow us. So you have the choice. Either you tell him to go now, or you accept him. Right? He said, of course I will accept him. In other words, if you bring extra guest, you have to inform the host. You cannot just bring him and quietly ask him to sit somewhere and finally eat. No. You have to tell the host, look, you have invited me, but this man follows me. Will you allow him to join? If you don't allow him to join, he will have to leave. That's the teaching, right? Once the Prophet ﷺ had a neighbor, a Persian, who is very good in cooking. So one day, the neighbor invited the Prophet ﷺ to eat in his house. Okay, so he went to the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet asked him, "How about Aisha?" Right? And this man said, "No." He said, if you are not inviting Aisha, I'm not coming. Then he asked again, will you come? You know, the Persian asked the Prophet ﷺ, still invited him to come. He said, what about Aisha? He said, no. Then I'm not coming. Then he asked the 3rd time, will you come? What about Aisha? Yes. Then only they go. So it shows how very loving and concerned, right, the Prophet was with his wife. Okay. And this particular hadith is very, very, very well known about the Prophet ﷺ went out at night hungry, and he saw Abu Bakr and Umar radhiyallahu anhuma, also outside at night, right? And he asked them, why are you all at night? He said, why are you all outside at night? We are all hungry. He said, by Allah, I'm also hungry. So well, let's go to somebody's house. So they went to someone's house, so the host, right? The host give them some food. First, he cut the I think he cut the dates, yeah, one what you call satu tandan punya dates, right, and gave him. And then he took a knife. When the Prophet saw the knife, he knew that this guy is going to slaughter a lamb, right? He said, "Don't slaughter the one with the milk." He knew, right? Don't slaughter the one with the milk. So he went to slaughter a young one, right? And then brought the milk. So he served the Prophet ﷺ and the two companions the milk, the dates, and also the lamb, right? At night. Then after that they went back to sleep. On the way, the Prophet ﷺ said, "In Yawmul Akhirah, you all will be asked about the ni'mah that you got tonight." Okay. Regarding the mu'jizat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Jabir bin Abdullah, this is the time when the battle of Khandaq was about to begin. So they were actually about 1,000 people were were making the Khandaq, right? The canal, right? So while they were working, this guy Jabir saw the Prophet ﷺ. From the face, he knew that the Prophet was very hungry. So he ran back to his wife and asked his wife, "What do we have to offer the Prophet ﷺ?" She took out a sack and found there was about some wheat flour. And he said, "Good, I have got a young lamb, so I'm going to slaughter the lamb," right? Then the wife told him, "Please don't make me embarrassed by inviting so many people and yet we have so little food," right? So she told the husband, "Go and just whisper to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he is inviting only him, not everybody, 1,000 of them. No, I have one lamb and some wheat, which I'm going to make the dough and make the bread." So this Jabir went and whispered to the Prophet ﷺ and said, "I've got some food for you. Will you come?" The Prophet stood up and said, "Oh, you people of the Khandaq, right? Jabir has invited all of us for lunch. 1,000 of them." So Jabir also got turned pale. What's going to happen? But he told Jabir, "Come, don't start cooking the lamb and don't take the frying pan out of the fire. Leave the frying pan on the fire all the time. Okay? But don't start cooking. The dough, don't start making the bread, but don't put it in the oven yet, right? Don't cook yet, in other words. You just prepare the dough." Then he came and he, of course, made some dua on the lamb as well as on the dough, right? Then after that, you start cooking. But don't lift the frying pan from the fire. Leave it there. And all the 1,000 came and ate their fill, right? And after they have done that, they found that the amount of food that they started cooking was still there. Not a single amount has been taken away. It's still there. That is the mu'jizat of the Prophet ﷺ. Similarly, there was another time when Anas bin Malik says, Abu Talha, right? Abu Talha invited the Prophet ﷺ for food. Again, he was supposed to invite only the Prophet ﷺ. So he told Anas, "Go and invite the Prophet ﷺ." So when Anas went, he found that the Prophet was with many companions. So Anas couldn't do anything but stand there and look at the Prophet, and the Prophet, of course, knew what was happening. So he told Anas, "What's happening?" He said, "Abu Talha wants to invite you." They said, "Never mind. All of them are coming." All of them are coming, And then when he reached the house of Abu Talha, he just put his hand inside the food, right? And then he said, bring 10 people in. So the 10 ate to their fill and go. Bring another 10 until all of them have taken the food and the food is still there. Similarly, when he found water, right, the spring, there was not enough water, and there were the whole battalion was without water, and he told them, don't touch the water until I reach. But he just put his finger, and there was enough water for everybody. Right? That's the mu'jizat. All right. Regarding this meat, when you serve meat and so on, right? There was a story about a particular community. They love to have, the delicacy is rabbit meat. Rabbit meat is the delicacy. So because rabbit is a small animal, right? So it runs short within a short period, right? It's not enough. So everybody loves to eat rabbit, so it's not enough. So one butcher wanted to sell meat. He couldn't sell only rabbit meat. So what he did was he said, I'm being transparent. I'm selling you mixed meat. Mixed, what type of mixed meat? Mixed between rabbit and horse. So one man went to buy the meat, went back to cook, and found that there was no taste of rabbit except the horse. So he went back to the butcher and asked, how did you mix the meat? He said, 50-50. How did you get 50-50? One rabbit, one horse. So that's the selingan. Otherwise you go to sleep. Now I go to Imam Nawawi. Some of the hadith will be the same, but I'm not going to repeat. Okay? The first one with regards to Umar ibn Abi Salama, the boy that I mentioned, where the Prophet ﷺ said, number 1, say Bismillah. Number 2, eat with your right hand. Number 3, take the food that is nearest to you. Right? That's the first hadith. Second one, from Aisha radiallahu anha, she said, when you start eating, when any one of you wants to eat, he should mention the name of Allah in the beginning. That is to say, Basmalah. If he forgets to do it in the beginning, he should say Basmallah awwalahu wa akhirahu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim awwalahu wa akhirahu. I begin with the name of Allah at the beginning and at the end. This is hadith from Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi, Hasan Sahih. According to the commentary, this hadith provides us a concession. If we have forgotten to pronounce the name of Allah before beginning to eat, we can do it during eating or in the end. Right? Next, from Abi Amamah radiallahu an, the Prophet ﷺ said, when food is being served to you, you should say the following: Alhamdulillahi kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fi. You should say, when food is being served to you, then you should say Alhamdulillahi kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fi. In fact, there is some more. Ghaira makfiyin wala muwadda'in wala mustaghnan anhu rabbana. In the English, I think it's not complete. It says, all praise is due to Allah, praise which is abundant, pure and full of blessings, which is indispensable and to which one cannot be indifferent. Right? That's the meaning. I think it's not complete. Next, prohibition of criticizing food. Right? The Prophet ﷺ used to eat whenever the food is good or is nice to him. Whenever he finds that the food is not tasteful enough, he doesn't eat. But he doesn't say anything. He just doesn't eat, he just keep it away and eat something else. Right? Do not criticize. We are in the habit of not only criticizing. Yeah, I remember someone was telling me that in Makkah, in Makkah, right? You know, when people go through the package, right? So they are provided food, right? And some of them, you know, there was one case where the food, every day the food is the same. They serve the same food, right? The chicken, the whatever. But the chicken is so hard. It's so hard, you know, it's so difficult to eat. So one of them got so mad, one day he took the chicken and threw it. This is in Makkah, you know, during Hajj. No, you don't, that is more than criticizing. You're prohibited from criticizing, and yet you do worse than criticizing. Yeah? Throw the food. From Jabir, Abu Hurairah, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah's messenger says, Allah's messenger never found fault with food. If he had inclination to eating it, he would eat, and if he disliked it, he would leave it. Right? Just leave it. Right? Don't say anything about it. Another hadith from Jabir, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked for sauce and was told that there was nothing except vinegar. He asked for chili sauce or tomato sauce, and there was no sauce, so they gave him vinegar. And you know what he said? He said, bring the vinegar to me. And then he said, he ate with the vinegar, and then he said, how excellent is vinegar when eaten as sauce. How excellent is vinegar when eaten as sauce. And he said that twice. Right. And I do not think that he was sarcastic about it. He was very sincere about it. Yeah? In other words, I still find it okay. I still find it okay to eat with vinegar. Right. I remember once, I went to one house in Baling, Kedah. This house belongs to one of my mates that I was sending back, with my wife. And of course, in Baling, people are very poor. Right? And it was lunch hour, and they asked us to stay. To stay on. So we stayed on. We did not know why they asked us to stay on. The family asked us to stay. So we stayed on. Finally, they served us food. And you know what the food was? Maggi mee is cooked in sambal tumis, right? So it's quite nice with rice. In other words, they don't have anything except that, but we enjoyed it anyway. Alhamdulillah. But it shows the sincerity. I used to go to another house in Tanjung Karang, Skinchan area. Also one of the mates that we had from there. And I used to see a lot of, poor people living in dilapidated houses and so on, right? Houses without window, right? And then the roof is leaking, If it rains, I was told that the children will keep moving from place to place. There was no room in the house, just open space, right? And then the roof is made from some part is zinc, some part atap and all that, but leaking. So when it rains, while they are sleeping before the rain, it's okay. But when the rain starts, the water falls down on them, so they move. Find a place where there is no water, no rain falling. That is the kind of life they have. But they have coconut tree, right? So before we leave, they will climb the tree and get the young coconut, ask us to eat. So happy to see people. So happy. We know that they are helpless, but they are still happy to give something to you. In fact, according to, I think it's a hadith, there is no point waiting for you to be rich before you start to be generous. You don't have to be rich to start to be generous. Even when you are poor, you should still infaq. But of course, when you are poor, you might not infaq 10 ringgit, you may give 10 cents. Yeah? But that's the point. So don't wait until you are rich. Even when you are poor, you can do it. Yeah? Okay. Undesirability of eating in a reclining posture. I mean, you don't, jangan tersandar makan. It's not good. Not good health-wise even. Yeah? It's not good health-wise. Yeah? Excellence of eating with 3 fingers and licking them. Yeah? 3 fingers only. Right? Not like that. Huh? Just 3 fingers, bit by bit. Yeah? This is also based upon the hadith. Ka'ab bin Malik reported, I saw Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam eating with 3 fingers. The thumb, the index finger and the middle finger. These 3 fingers only. Right. The other 3 will be difficult. But you can try. The thumb, the index finger and the middle finger. And licking them after having finished the food. Why? Because you do not know which portion of the food contains the barakah. Right? And in some hadith, if you do not lick it, you ask somebody else to lick it, maybe your son or your daughter to lick it. Yeah? Drinking water. Anas reported Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to breathe 3 times in the course of a drink. In other words, he breathe, he blow actually, not breathe. Yeah? He blow. According to the commentary of the hadith on the blowing into the drink, the water should be drunk in 3 different breaths, in 3 gulps. Yeah? That is, one should breathe 3 times outside the drinking vessel one is drinking from. Or in other words, when you drink, you breathe from outside, and then you drink. Then take your breath again and then drink. Yeah? Take your breath and drink 3 times. That's how you should drink. Okay? Of course, undesirability of drinking directly from the mouth of a water skin. That's one we mentioned already. Yeah? Permission to drink while in a standing posture, I've already mentioned. Undesirability of blowing to the vessel while drinking. Yeah? One is blowing to the vessel, is not allowed. Blowing into the container, the glass, for example, you take the glass, that's not allowed. But you breathe means you breathe outside the glass. You breathe in and then you drink. You breathe in and you drink. Right? So that's how it should be done. Excellence of cup-bearer drinking last. In other words, the host should drink last. The host should eat last. The host should drink last. I'm a very poor host because I always eat first. Permissibility of drinking water from clean vessels of all types except gold and silver. Right? Never use gold and silver containers, even plates. Right? If you are served with either gold or silver plates or glass or containers, then you ask your host to change it. Not supposed to. I think that's about it. Wallahu alam.